Dear men, no thank you. Yeah, I said it, and I'll explain.
This was a request from one of my followers on Twitter. You know who you are, and I didn't realise that you hated me. This one's a doozy, folks. Let's get ready to head desk.
I am uninterested in casual sex with you. No, thank you. There is no appeal to the nail-biting wait for a text message, since we all know a phone call is off the table after you sleep with me.
This happens a lot then. I get the feeling that you have one of two problems, or perhaps a combination of both. Either you have terrible fucking taste in men, / pick up men from places where terrible men hang out, or, if I had to guess from the rest of the article, it'll be mostly this. You are a fucking unbearable human being. That once people spend an evening with you, they have had quite their fill. I could be wrong, but let's find out, shall we, my little schnobbles?
There is nothing delicious about hoping that you give a shit or having to play it cool because I do give a shit. I want to go on dates. Yes, dates. Not hangouts. That distinction is important because a hangout could mean that we're going to go walk around a mall like we did at 14 when our mums were our only means of transportation.
Or it could be that hangout is just the modern parlance, and asking someone for a date just feels woefully formal and old-fashioned. What do you think, Grandma?
A hangout implies that we're bros. I have enough friends, sir. No, thank you.
Liar!
When you say you want to take me on a date, I know you're taking it seriously, and that I'm not going out with some 19-year-old kid, which wasn't appealing even when I was 19.
Yes, because you're a woman, and women in general are attracted to older males, or at least men who have their act together, so to speak, as they have a greater potential at being good providers, etc. This isn't a profound revelation, darling.
I want you to ask me out a few days before and plan something. I want you to put some effort into dating me. I don't need flowers, but god damn it, some sign that you care would be nice.
Holy shit, you're a demanding little fucker, aren't you? Asking you out is a sign that someone cares enough about your existence that they want to get to know you better. Talk to you. Spend some time getting to know the shrill harpy. If they play their cards right, could be destroying every night for the rest of your lives with her unbelievable sense of entitlement.
After that date, call. It's not that hard. It's refreshing. The 2-day waiting period should be a myth. Unfortunately, it's not. But think about how silly it is.
God forbid you call him or anything. God forbid you act like a fucking human with some agency instead of a fucking mannequin that has to stand around waiting for things to happen to them. You are perpetuating this very myth by acting like he's the one who has to call you, dickhead.
Oh my god, that woman was amazing, and I definitely want to see her again, but instead of just making it happen, I'm going to make her sit around and wonder if I like her or not. Following through shouldn't be a rarity.
Oh my god, you fucking brat. People have these things called lives. They include jobs, bills, families, friends, a whole host of people and things that aren't fucking you. You are less than a blip in pretty much everybody's lives, unless you frigging live with the people. And even then, you wouldn't and shouldn't be the only thing on that person's mind. So yeah, waiting a couple of days for a phone call that you are too cunting lazy to make is fine.
I want you to be honest. Whoa, scary. I know. Here's the thing. We are both adults. I don't need you to tell me what you think I want to hear.
God forbid someone says something nice in order to brighten up your day. What kind of selfish piece of shit does that? Oh yeah, fucking everybody who isn't a colossal dickhead. Even in tiny ways, people tell small lies to each other just so we aren't total fucking bellends to each other all the time. A great film to show how fucked up this would be is The Invention of Lying. A world where everybody just says the complete unfiltered truth to each other all the time. It's actually fucking horrendous. It's cringe funny from the outside perspective, but a world where everybody never lied would actually fucking suck.
No, thank you. I can call my mom if I want her to tell me I'm pretty, if I really need to hear it. The idea that you feel like you need to tell me something you don't believe just so you can get in my pants is ridiculous. If I want to sleep with you, I will. It's totally that simple.
I think maybe you should ask first, because that sounded a bit rapey to me.
I don't need to hear some long rambling speech about how incredible you think I am, when in reality, you're just trying to bust a nut. I would rather know up front what you're interested in.
Jesus Christ, woman. If I'd made a long speech like that, it would be because I'm so into them. And not just to fuck them, but actually into them as a human being that I had felt a connection with. On that note, are you sure someone has ever made this speech to you, or did you see it on TV? Because I can't imagine anyone catching feelings for your spoiled ass.
If we go out and you don't want to see me again, brace yourself, because this is hard to understand. Don't tell me that you do. Believe it or not, women don't want to be lied to. I'm not going to tell you some fairy tale story about how wonderful you are if I don't think it.
I don't imagine you would. I can just see you pointing out each and every character flaw they have, regardless of if you actually wanted to see them again. It's probably why they don't call or text. I imagine that you're that date, that terrible date that you hear of so often, this incredibly horrible person who turned up and expected everything and offered nothing in return, and then inexplicably wants sex at the end because you've got nothing else to offer. Sorry babe, I prefer women of substance. My goal on a date is to actually have a date, not pay for your meal and then act like a goddamn escort and be expected to be happy about it. Fuck off.
Please don't freak out if I want to talk to you. I like you. Stop panicking. If you don't like me back, see above. It's okay if we talk. It's okay if you want to talk to me or want to see me again. Don't wait until it's too late to decide if you want me.
I'm guessing the men weak/desperate enough to sleep with you after the date from hell are weighing up whether a shag would be worth it to put up with your me, I want attitude again. I'm guessing it's usually no.
I was seeing this guy for a while a couple of years back, when we did the whole playing it cool and casual sex thing, off and on for almost a year. Well, he did. I had no issue being like, hi, I like you, I hope that's okay. I knew he liked me back. Honestly, we were a good match, but he waited until he moved 3,000 miles away to admit to having feelings.
You knew, did you? I find that a little hard to believe, seeing as you appear to have the emotional depth of a concrete floor. It seems doubly unlikely when he told you that he totally had feelings after moving thousands of miles away. I hate to break it to you, but I imagine he was letting you down nicely. Oh, I'm totally into you, yeah. Oh, it's such a shame now that we're so far apart. I'm gonna have to find someone else. Oh, well. I'll probably boff you if I'm in town again, though. So remember, I like you and shit.
What's even more alarming is that even though we've had the discussion about where we both stand, he's still timid. He's still weird about being anything other than bro-y about it. The last time I saw him, we went on a sweet date, and the next day he was so uncomfortable with me. Why? Who gives a shit? Can someone please explain what is so scary or shameful about having feelings and being willing to express them?
Because he doesn't have feelings, and you clearly do. So even though he's a massive piece of shit, he probably feels guilty deep down because he's using you for sex and stringing you along. But I'm sure he gets over it when he remembers how fucking unbearable you are.
I don't need to have a 45-minute daily discussion about the fuzzy wuzzies, but I shouldn't be afraid to terrify you if I have an emotion other than horniness. I don't tell anyone if it's something you're embarrassed about, but you are capable of having feelings, aren't you?
Yes, men are perfectly capable of having feelings, but we don't tend to express them to some bird we met that night or have only been on a couple of dates with. On the other hand, though, if you've been with a guy for ages and he doesn't share at all, he probably doesn't think you're important enough to share with, and that should tell you everything you need to know. It's actually kind of ridiculous sentiment, as the manliest blokes I have ever met, even they open up to their spouses. So if someone refuses to open up to you, you need to seriously consider your options.
In general, it seems like there is an unwillingness for men to be men. I'm not talking about when you guys take us out and open doors. That's sweet and all, but that's not it. I'm talking about the unwillingness to connect, to be vulnerable, to step up. I am flabbergasted by how few men will take responsibility for their emotional choices and for the damage they leave behind post-relationship.
Emotions aren't fucking choices, dumbass. No one chooses how they feel about things. And if someone falls out of love, it's often either no one's fault or their partner is a bit of an asshole. At that point, the only choice is, do I rip this band-aid off now and save months, if not years of unhappiness? Or do I stick it out just to keep them happy? And far too often, that is a really difficult choice for people to make. But no matter what, Your feelings about someone leaving you are your responsibility and yours alone. It's a cold, harsh world out there, and no one is obligated to look after you if they don't want to.
Please don't get me wrong. Women aren't innocent of dating crimes. There are women who will bail, ghost, use, cheat, manipulate, lie. People tend to suck in general, but obviously it's not everyone. I'm aware that there are men in the great wide somewhere who don't act like idiots. Otherwise, the human race would have ended centuries ago.
I would bet you dollars to donuts that it's most men. Unfortunately, it depends where you're finding them. Meeting people in certain nightclubs or bars is going to be a big barrel of the same one-dimensional just-in-it-for-the-poontang guys. Yeah, there'll be a couple of decent catches in there, but I wouldn't fucking count on it.
So here's my request. Surprise me. Surprise the girl you're dating. Be real. Pretend like there are TV cameras waiting with bated breath for your emotional honesty. Share like there's $1 million commercial deal waiting at the end of the season. It might work out for you. Sincerely, a bitch who seriously ain't got no time for that.
It's funny you would use the TV analogy. I think you probably have some weird expectations from men in general. But I'm going to hit you with a shocking fact. Men are people too. Some of them, like you say, suck. But plenty of them don't. But going around with some fairly absurd and arbitrary standards is going to make it really hard to actually find any. And on the other side, I think you really need to take a long, hard look at yourself. While self-confidence is a great thing, it still needs to come with a dose of reality and self-reflection. If you find that dating is as you described in this article, then the problem may not just be the men here. You should take a step back and really look at yourself, the way you behave. Try and work out the behaviours that you see in yourself that you would not accept from your partners and work on them. Fuck it, I'm not Sir Sick the dating advice columnist, although Sir Sick Dak has a nice ring to it. But anyway, if you focus on being someone you would want to date, you will probably become the same thing for everyone else.